Here's what happened when Bolo Yeung challenged Michael Jai White. In the 80s, the martial arts world believed in a single sacred truth. Size doesn't matter, technique is everything. A smaller fighter could topple a giant through skill, speed, and precision. Bruce Lee proved it. Writers retold it. Millions repeated it. But decades later, a different kind of martial figure emerged. Someone who challenged the myth not with words, but with presence. He was bigger, faster, smarter, and trained in multiple disciplines. His name was Michael Jai White. Standing 1.91 meters tall and weighing over 90 kilograms of sculpted muscle, Michael Jai White didn't just move like a martial artist. He moved like a philosophy in motion, a belief system made flesh. Taekwondo gave him explosive power. Shotokan karate taught him discipline and structure. Brazilian jiu-jitsu gave him leverage and control. The martial arts world rarely sees that combination in one body. Most fighters spend a lifetime mastering a single discipline. White accumulated black belts like trophies, not from vanity, but from hunger. He was built for evolution. He was built to adapt. And adaptability, in modern combat, is the real superpower. Bolo Yeung was something else entirely. If Michael Jai White represented evolution, Bolo embodied ancient force. He entered cinema like a mythological creature, forged in iron and determination. Compact, dense, unstoppable. A man built like a sculpted threat. At 1.68 meters tall and around 70 kilograms, Bolo's dimensions defied physics. His chest looked engineered from granite. His arms seemed carved to intimidate, not merely strike. He carried the silhouette of a bulldozer, but with the focus of a monk. Strength was not his advantage. Strength was his identity. Where White spent a lifetime diversifying skill, Bolo spent a lifetime perfecting dominance. His training was old school. Iron weights, forged conditioning, heavy strikes, repetition until the muscles obeyed instinct rather than thought. There is a philosophy in that simplicity. He didn't chase versatility. He chased inevitability. Michael Jai White could attack from range, from angles, from rhythm. Bolo could end a fight with a single decisive moment. One clean strike. One opportunity. One mistake from the opponent. That is the terrifying art of power. And so we arrive at our central conflict. Modern adaptability versus traditional raw force. Strategy versus commitment. Evolution versus certainty. This is not merely physical. It is psychological. It is philosophical. It is about what humans believe makes victory inevitable. Because beneath every fight lies a question. What matters more, preparation or presence? Intelligence or instinct? Potential or power? The stage is imaginary, yes, but the tension is real. Picture a dimly lit gym at midnight. Wooden floors. Heavy bags swaying in the shadows. The echo of footwork and breathing. Two men walk into the same space separated by 30 years of martial culture. One, Michael Jai White, carrying the quiet confidence of someone who has studied multiple worlds of fighting. His eyes scanning distance, measuring timing, thinking several moves ahead. A tactician in a warrior's body. The other, Bolo Yeung, carrying decades of lived intensity. No overthinking. No hesitation. Just certainty that his body is enough, his strength is enough, his force is enough. They bow. Not because they have to, but because respect frames violence. In martial philosophy, bowing is not submission. It is acknowledgement. It says, I see you. I recognize your path. Let us test ourselves honestly. They begin. White moves first, not with aggression but with information. A jab to measure distance. A roundhouse kick to test reaction. Nothing wasted. Every strike is both an attack and a question. What is Bolo's timing? What is his rhythm? Does he counter on impact, or does he wait? Bolo answers with simplicity. He doesn't chase speed, he chases consequence. A step forward, shoulders tightening, a hook like a meteor. White slips it, but the air displacement alone feels dangerous. Bolo doesn't need to hit you clean. He only needs to touch you. This is where philosophy enters the fight. Michael Jai White fights like an engineer. Bolo Yeung fights like a sculptor. One designs trajectories, the other shapes brute inevitability. White's advantage is anatomy. Longer limbs, greater reach, more space to operate. He uses angles, kicks from a safe distance. Precise footwork, not to escape, but to manipulate. Bolo's advantage is pressure. He doesn't retreat. He doesn't chase. He compresses space. He waits for the world to shrink down to his terms. Which one is superior? The answer is not straightforward. It depends on context, on luck, on mistakes and micro-decisions that unfold in thousandths of a second. But here is where the narrative deepens. Fighting isn't only physical. It is psychological warfare. There is a concept in combat psychology, pace ownership. Whoever controls the rhythm controls fear. White tries to dictate rhythm with striking variety. Bolo tries to break rhythm with interruption, with sudden violence that resets the entire exchange. And in the quiet moments between strikes, something else emerges: philosophy of legacy. Michael Jai White is a man built by evolution. He was trained in the age of cross-disciplinary combat, the world after Bruce Lee, the world before MMA truly dominated, a world where martial knowledge expands outward into endless possibilities. Bolo Yeung is a man built by singular conviction. He comes from the era of cinematic myth, where one discipline was enough, one persona was enough. In him lives a belief in power without apology. One man believes in diversified tools. The other believes in perfected weaponry. It is modernity versus tradition. White staggers back after a near miss from Bolo's right hand. The power is absurd. He smiles, not because he is reckless, but because he understands something profound. Power is predictable. It is loud. It announces itself. And once it announces itself, strategy can shape around it. White throws a spinning back kick, level change, baiting a rush. Bolo does not take the bait. He stares, unblinking. Patience, not impulse. And that is the contradiction. People assume raw power is reckless. But real power is patient. Real strength knows it can wait. There is another philosophical layer here, the idea of control. White's control is technical. He controls angles, timing, space. Bolo's control is emotional. He controls presence. When Beyond the Lookout steps forward, the room feels smaller. Energy thickens. Heartbeats accelerate. Fighters talk about this phenomenon. The presence of a dangerous opponent changes body chemistry. It's primal, a survival instinct. That is Bolo's psychology. White's psychology is calculation, martial intelligence. Fighting is data. Measure, adapt, exploit. White never fights the opponent. He fights the opponent's decisions. So who wins? The probable outcome, we are told, favors White. His reach, his speed, his black belt arsenal, his grappling ability, his modern training methods. The numbers, the statistics, the physics, they all lean toward him. But probability is not destiny. Bolo has something numbers cannot measure: singularity of force, a belief in physical inevitability. And every fight in history has a defining moment where probability meets possibility. Picture the fourth minute of the hypothetical showdown. Sweat glistens. Breathing intensifies. White's kicks have landed repeatedly. Low calf strikes, midsection shots. Bolo's stance is unbroken. His guard is tight, high, bulldozer solid. He is waiting for one moment. One opening. White throws a left kick to the ribs. Bolo anticipates, not with analysis, but with instinct. He absorbs, steps in, compresses distance. And then he throws that impossibly heavy hook. Most fighters would crumble. Maybe White absorbs it. Maybe he slips partially. Maybe it only grazes him. But the shockwave rattles the entire dynamic. Because the threat is now real. White now knows. A single mistake could end everything. And tension deepens. Now consider the psychological lesson hidden in this clash. It is bigger than martial arts. Bigger than cinema. Bigger than the idea of two men testing force. It is about humanity. We all face this conflict in life. Versatility versus commitment. Should we diversify, expand, adapt to every challenge like Michael Jai White? Or should we focus on one undeniable strength, mastered to its ultimate form, like Beyond the Lookout Yeung? Modern society worships adaptability. Ancient culture worships discipline. Which is superior? Which creates greatness? The truth, whispered in every legendary confrontation, is that both philosophies are incomplete alone. Greatness comes from conflict between them. White throws a spinning heel kick. Perfect technique, measured distance. It lands clean. Bolo staggers. But he doesn't fall. He looks at White with eyes that say silently, "I'm still here." Resilience. Another invisible weapon. Now White understands what every opponent understood when facing true power. Winning is not about attacking. Winning is about not losing focus. He changes strategy. Less speed, more precision. He begins to attack the legs, weaken mobility. Smart. Surgical. Technical. Bolo's strikes grow slower, but deadlier. Every punch is a threat. Every step is risk. The philosophical stakes rise with fatigue. When bodies weaken, mind takes over. Strategy either collapses under panic or ascends into purity. White uses footwork to pivot, angle, disengage. Bolo walks forward like inevitability with shoulders rolling, jaw locked, eyes unchanging. And here comes the crux. This fight, hypothetical as it is, reveals two legacies of martial arts history. Michael Jai White represents the martial future. Research, integration, multiple paths fused into one mind. Bolo Yeung represents the martial past. Fierce singular mastery, power through devotion and repetition. Who wins is less interesting than why. White likely scores more strikes. Controls distance. Eventually tires his opponent. Eventually lands something decisive. A spinning back kick. A head strike. A controlled takedown. Victory by accumulated advantage. Yes, probability favors him. But Bolo only needs one moment. And that is the universal truth hidden beneath this narrative. Modern skill dominates over time. Traditional power dominates in moments. And life is decided by moments. White raises his guard. Bolo inhales. Their eyes meet and something ancient passes between them. Respect. Recognition. They understand each other without words. Because here is the paradox that defines martial authenticity. They are not trying to defeat each other. They are trying to understand each other. Every strike is a form of communication. Every dodge is a reply. Combat is language. Violence is philosophy made visible. The bell would ring. Sweat would fall. Neither man humiliated. Both men changed. Because this isn't about victory. It's about revelation. Two warriors representing eras, styles, convictions. Two bodies carrying decades of discipline and sacrifice. Two minds shaped by ambition and belief. And when the dust settles, one question remains. One that echoes beyond martial arts, beyond film, beyond physical combat. Is greatness built by expanding in every direction, or by drilling one truth until it becomes unbreakable? There is no universal answer, only personal truth. Michael Jai White walks away with modern advantage. Bolo Yeung walks away with timeless power. And somewhere between them lies the real lesson. Legacy is not who wins. Legacy is who reveals the weight of their philosophy. So ask yourself, if you had to face the world, would you rather have 1,000 techniques? Or one technique perfected beyond failure? One day you will have to choose. Because life, like combat, always comes down to a single moment. And in that moment, only one truth matters. Confidence is temporary. Technique is conditional. But conviction, true conviction, is indestructible.